Hello, everybody. My name's Richard Osman. Welcome along to House of Games. In fact, welcome along to House of Games night, which just means it's slightly later. That's all. It's the only difference. But we also have an audience. Hello, audience. Yay. Lovely to have you here. We also have a band. Hello, band. Woo. We also pretend contractually that David O'Doherty is in charge of the band. Hello, David.
Thanks for the free suit, Richard.
But as always, we're joined by 4 people who battle it out over a series of rounds, and at the end of 3 shows, one of them will walk away with this trophy. Let's meet our players once again. They are Steph McGovern, Ben Miller, Janette Manrara, and Ed Ball. Welcome back, everybody. Ed, we've got to start with you. A win in week 1.
I'm not quite sure what happened. I think probably Ben was generous at a key moment.
That only accounts for 1 point, Ed.
I know, but...
You were way out in front.
He was way out in front. You blurted out an answer and Ed stole it. Jeanette, let's take a look at the leaderboard, shall we, so far? At the moment, you find yourself in 4th. What can you do on this show to rack up a few more points, do you think?
Hopefully there's some kind of a Disney round so I can smash that, because that I know inside out.
So if it's all Disney...
Oh, I'll be great.
OK, it's yours. Ben, so beaten by Ed last time, and Ed took home a House of Games beer keg.
I was very jealous.
Shall we take a look at tonight's prizes, Ben? Whoever wins tonight gets to take home the House of Games champagne and ice bucket, the House of Games skateboard, the House of Games fondue set with House of Games cheese and House of Games chutney, or the House of Games karaoke machine.
What's going on?
Finally a woo from the audience when we mentioned karaoke. Ben, what would you go for there?
There's no question. I would go for the karaoke machine.
Karaoke.
I've never seen anything like that on this show.
Quite something, isn't it? Steph, what would you go for, do you think?
I think the fondue set, mainly because I proper love cheese. So I think that would...
nice. Jeanette, what would you go for?
Probably the champagne.
You can take the girl out of Strictly, but you never take Strictly out of the girl. Ed, what would you go for if you were to win?
I'm actually thinking of the skateboard.
Wow, I didn't think you were going to say that. Let's take a look at our first round, shall we, on tonight's show? And it is... Don't Cry For Me, Guatemala. Now, in this round, we've got the help of our band, led by David O'Doherty. Now, before the show, we asked you all a series of general knowledge questions, and you didn't know why we were asking them. You're going to find out why we're asking them now, because we're going to see your answers, but the answers, hopefully, should fill in gaps in various famous songs. OK? Which the band will play. So the first question I asked all of you was this. Which continent has a population of around 1.3 billion people? You all gave me an answer, and hopefully that answer fits in to the following song.
It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in
Africa.
South America.
I bless the rains down in
Asia.
I bless the rains down in
Africa.
Yeah, well done.
Africa.
Nice. So a point to Steph there and a point to Ed. Very well done. The next question I asked you was this. The leaves of the candle nut tree have a shape suggesting which part of the body. OK, let's find out, shall we? We need your answer to fit into this song.
Once upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. There's nothing I can do. A total eclipse on the
Ear.
There's nothing I can do. A total eclipse on the
Ear.
There's nothing I can do. A total eclipse on the
Hands.
Beautiful lyric.
There's nothing I can do. A total eclipse on the
Sole of the foot. It was not worth waiting for.
Nothing I can say. A total eclipse of the heart.
Woo! That voice.
I love the fact you both said total eclipse of the ear.
Random.
Quite something. We've got 2 ears.
Yeah.
Final thing I asked you was this. At the Oscars in 2017, La La Land was mistakenly announced as Best Picture, though the actual winner was which film? Let's see if your answer fits into this song.
Dancing in the
Despicable Me.
everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fun and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the
Richard Osman's House of Games.
dancing in the
Spotlight.
everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fun and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the
12 Years a Slave.
dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright.
Thank you, Wendy and the band. Thank you so much. Do you know what? I'm going to give Janette a point there. She said
Yes,
Spotlight. Come on,
definitely.
that was close
That was
enough.
close
Spotlight,
enough.
I'll give you that.
I love you for that.
Moonlight was the answer we were looking for. That was a fun round. Thanks, everybody.
Very good,
Very well
Jack.
played, everyone. Let's take a look at our scores, shall we, after our first round. Yet to get off the mark, it is Ben. We have joint leaders, Steph, Janette, Ed, 1 point each. Well done. On to round 2, which tonight is... Get your head in the game. Now, we're going to transform Steph into something. You need to give Steph a one-word clue as to what we've transformed her into. Steph,
Claudia Schiffer would be lovely.
if you get it right, I'll give you a point, but you're also going to give a point to the person who gives you the best clue. So if you could head off behind the screen, please, and we'll see what we're going to transform
See
you
you, Claudia.
into. OK, let's take a look at who or what we have transformed Steph McGovern into. There she is. Hello, Steph.
Hi.
So, one-word clue to help Steph understand what she has been transformed into. Actually, Steph, a good look for you.
Steph, could you just gently bounce up and down on the spot? Just a little bit of bouncing.
Are you being serious or are you taking the mick out of me?
Both at the same time.
There we go.
So, Steph, you've got 3 words to help you work out what you are. Your first word, Ben, is...
Torch.
Torch. Torch is your first word. Janette, second word?
USA.
USA. Torch, USA. And Ed?
Yearning.
Yearning.
Wow.
Wow. Torch, USA, and yearning. Steph.
Am I the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah.
Hey, well played, Steph. Very nicely done. Steph, if you'll come back round, we'll show you a picture of yourself as the Statue of Liberty and you'll award... Look at the Statue of Liberty walking off. We will ask you who you want to give your point to as well. Well done, Steph. So, Steph, here's you as the Statue of Liberty. Whose clue do you think helped you the most? Yearning is not adding an awful lot to the pot.
No, yearning to breathe free. That is
Yeah.
the motto of the Statue of
Overthought.
Liberty.
You should have
Bring
said
me your
green.
huddled masses, yearning to
Yes,
breathe,
yes,
to breathe
you-
free. This is unique to the Statue of Liberty.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it was Ben and Janette, because as soon as I heard the Torch and USA, that's what... Literally both of them gave me the
Shall
help.
we give them both a point?
Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah, we'll give you both a point. Janette and Ben both get a point. Now, Ben, if you could take yourself behind the screen, then we will transform you.
Exciting.
But into what? Let's take a look at who or what Ben has been transformed into.
Oh my gosh.
Ben, just to say, they've had to use the defibrillator already.
He does know it's a person, right?
No, he doesn't know that, Janette.
Oh,
Well,
he
you know
doesn't?
what, Janette? He does now. OK, everyone's in. Ben, I wonder who or what. Could still be a what. I wonder who or what you are. Janette, what is your word, please?
Diamonds.
Diamonds. Nice. Ed, what's your word?
Sugar.
Sugar. Diamonds, sugar, and Steph?
Birthday.
Birthday. You might have to think a little bit laterally.
I mean, he's really getting the look now, isn't he?
I know.
The only The only person I can think of associated with diamonds is Liberace. I'm thinking. This is really hard. This is really, really hard. Elton John, isn't that?
So you're going for Elton John. Why don't you come around and take a little look? You'll see, when you see it, the clues are all good, I think.
Yes.
But I think it would have been very hard to get.
It's amazing how quickly you take off all the makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at who you were, Ben.
Diamonds, sugar birthday.
Marilyn Monroe is who you were.
I think whoever came up with birthday should get a point. That was a good clue, I think.
Steph.
Thank
A
you.
point for birthday. Janette, I wonder if you could take yourself behind the screens. This will be a classy walk. Watch this. And your 3...
You go, girl.
I absolutely take it back. Let's see what we have transformed Janette into. Wow. Wow, OK. OK, that is...
Stick your tongue out.
So you've got a one-word clue.
She's going to get this.
So, Janette, who or what are you? You've got 3 words to help you work it out. Your first word, Ed, is...
Marsupial.
Marsupial is your first word. I like that look. Steph, the second word.
Australian.
Australian. And Ben?
Eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus.
I'm just gonna guess koala.
Well done. Janette, if you come round, you've got a point to award as well.
That was the happiest koala ever, though.
I mean, it was
Yeah,
a
I mean,
great
you look
koala
good.
work.
Great koala.
Let's take a look at you. There you
so
are.
funny when you
You have a point to give away.
I think Australia was the best hint.
Australian. OK, Steph, you get yourself
Yeah.
another point. Very well
Thank you.
done.
Yeah.
And Ed, last but not least, we are going to transform you. Make your way behind the screen, please. OK, let's take a look to who or what Ed is. Wow. Wow. OK, that is a strong look.
Ed, could you look melancholy for a moment?
What? Oh, no, that's unbearable to me. That's so upsetting. Wow.
Sort of getting E.T. slightly.
Yeah,
I
wow.
was getting E.T.
Ed, we've got to guess what you are. You're going to have 3 words to help you. First word, Steph, is...
Sprouting.
Sprouting.
Sprout.
Ben?
It is Ed, so I'm going... I'm going with cubby.
Cubby, yes. Oh, they like that in the audience.
Yeah.
And Janette?
Vegetable.
Vegetable. Ed, what do you think you might be?
Vegetable and sprouting.
And cubby.
Cubby.
If the Queen went vegan, this is what her guards could look like.
So it could be like a Cabbage Patch doll or like a head of broccoli. But what the thing is, I would go for head of broccoli if it wasn't for the cubbing. I can't think of what.
That's interesting.
Oh.
I'm going to say a Cabbage Patch doll.
No.
Oh.
No, but maybe I should say a sprouting head of broccoli.
Oh, we'll give you that. We'll give you that. You're a head of broccoli. Well done. Ed, if you come round, take a look at yourself. I will give you that.
It's the walking off bit that's the funniest.
Yeah.
Did I get a point?
Yeah, for broccoli.
Broccoli.
For the broccoli.
Yeah. Let's take a look at you before you give away your points. So Cubby, Ben, is...
Cubby Broccoli, the famous, the Bond, original Bond.
Produce all the Bond movies, Cubby Broccoli.
Cubby Broccoli.
Yeah. Ed, who would you like to give a point to?
I think it's going to have to be Steph.
Steph with sprouting. Well done, Steph.
Ah, thank you. Thanks.
Tablets away, please, everybody. And we'll take a little look at what that has done to our scoreboard. Ben, you currently have 1
Hey,
point.
Janette.
Ed, you've got 2. Janette, 3. Steph McGovern, 5 points.
Hey.
The leader.
Thank you.
Our next round on this evening's House of Games is... Rhyme time. Fingers on buzzers. I'm going to ask you 2 questions at a time. The answers rhyme with each other. So what are the two answers to these? Dance that precedes number 5 in the title of a Lou Bega hit, and film franchise with Sylvester Stallone as a Vietnam veteran. Oh, Ben beats Janette to the buzzer. Ben.
Mambo Rambo.
Exactly right. Very well done. Next two. Who is this? And who is this? Yes.
Keir
Steph.
Starmer, Patsy Palmer.
Keir Starmer, Patsy Palmer. Absolutely right. And next two. Symbols below the star on the flag of the USSR. First book in the Mr. Men series. Yes, Ed.
Hammer and sickle, Mr. Tickle.
Well played, Ed Balls. Hammer and sickle, Mr. Tickle. Nicely done. Next two. What is this? And who is this? Yes, that's Janette.
Cheese on toast TV host.
I mean,
Very good.
it isn't, but I'm going to give you a point for it. I'm giving you a point for that. Anyone else want an extra point for this? Oh, Ed beats Steph.
Cheesani, Anita Rani.
Absolutely right. Susani Anita Rani. Or
Yours is
Cheese on
better.
Toast
Yours is
TV
better.
host. Next two.
Oh, gosh.
US President with the initials HH.
Ooh.
An emergency procedure for airway obstructions. Yes, Ben.
Henry Hoover Heimlich manoeuvre.
I don't want to be the one to tell you that Henry Hoover was never a president of the United States. Oh! Anyone want to do that and replace the word Henry? Ed.
I think it's Herbert Hoover. Heimlich
And
Hoover.
Herbert Hoover, Heimlich manoeuvre. That is unlucky.
The debates were so strange. It's just the other person would speak at length and he'd go,
Final question in this round. Who is this? And Star Trek character played by William Shatner. Yes, Ben.
Kathy Burke, Captain Kirk.
Kathy Burke, Captain Kirk.
You.
That's the end of that round. Let's take a look at our scores, shall we? Ben, you have 3. Janette, 4. Ed, 5. 1 point lead. Steph McGovern.
Hey.
Well played, Steph. Let's play our next round, shall we? It is coming up next. Now, this is a pairs game. The player in last place gets to choose their partner. Ben, that is currently you. Who would you like to team up with here?
I'd like to team up with Janette, I think.
Lovely. You're going to team up with the koala bear? Mm-hmm.
She's on fire, this.
Yeah,
Yes, she really is. So Ben and Ed, if you'll swap places, please. Ed and Steph are a team. Beautiful. You know what, Ed? You never lose it, do you? You never lose it.
I think you have to have it.
Yes. Now, you're going to help out with various other TV programmes, OK? With a script for various programmes. Janette, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
Clive Myrie on BBC News needed you to help him with clues to a venue. OK, he wanted to describe a venue, and you had to help him out by filling in the following bits of his script. You did this before the show.
Yeah.
You filled in these. It is located in, it has been nicknamed, it was opened on behalf of, and it is a venue for the annual something. Ben, you've got to work out which venue Janette is giving you clues
Come
to.
on, Ben, you've got this.
Take it away, Clive
It's all coming back
Myrie
now.
and BBC News.
And finally, we're celebrating the 150th anniversary of a beloved venue. It's located in central London, isn't it? It's been nicknamed maybe the British Colosseum and was opened on behalf of the Italians. It is the venue for the annual BBC Proms and the international dance competition.
So which venue was she writing a script about?
I think Janette is talking about the Royal Albert Hall.
Clive, was it the Royal Albert Hall?
It is, of course, the Royal Albert Hall.
It is the Royal Albert Hall. Kensington in London, fairly central London. It's been nicknamed the Nation's Village Hall. Opened on behalf of Queen Victoria. And you're quite right, BBC Proms, International Dance Competition, lots and lots of brilliant things. Steph, before the show, Ed had to fill in some clues to write the script for Danny Dyer on the Wall. OK? And these are the bits that we asked Ed to fill in. She's a performer who has appeared on stage in. She's released a single with the title. She's appeared in the film. And, of course, she played a soap character called. So we are now going to see the script Ed wrote, read by Danny Dyer, and you've got to guess which celebrity guest is he introducing here.
So, who's our next player brave enough to take on the wall? Well, she's a performer who has appeared on stage in My Fair Lady. She released a single with the title I Don't Know. She appeared in the film Love Actually as the one with the Cockney accent. And, of course, she played a soap character called something like Raquel or Tiffany in EastEnders.
Wow. Steph, what do you think the answer is?
Martine McCutcheon.
Danny, is Martine McCutcheon the answer?
Of course, it's the wonderful Martine McCutcheon.
Well done.
Proper treacle.
Let's take a look at how we should have filled these in. Yep, My Fair Lady, very well done. Perfect Moment, that was her big hit, wasn't it? She was in Love Actually, absolutely right. And she played Tiffany in EastEnders. So very, very good clues, Ed, and well worked out. Steph, Janette, we showed Ben the name of a music festival, and he had to fill in a script for Scott Mills on Radio 1, OK? And these are the bits of the script that Ben had to fill in. It's held in, the stages are named after, and the 2019 headline is included. Interestingly, it's on the site of, OK? So we head over to Scott Mills now. Which music festival is this?
Next up, we're going live to a music festival. It's held somewhere in America, probably a really hip city. The stages are named after, definitely not a pyramid, and the 2019 headliners included really hip music acts. Interestingly, it's on the site of somewhere you can park coaches.
Can you get it?
I think I can.
That's great.
I mean, there's only one big music festival that would be like hipsters and cool, and it's in California. I'm gonna go with Coachella.
Is it Coachella, Scott?
Let's go over to Coachella.
Yeah.
Well done. It is held in the Colorado desert. Stages are named after deserts also. And the 2019 headliners included Ariana Grande, the Childish Gambino, and it's on the site of a polo club, believe it or not. Ed, before the show, we gave Steph the name of an animal, and she had to fill in a script for Alex Jones on the One Show.
Oh, amazing.
Animal, OK? These are the things that Steph had to fill in. It's classed as... One of its Latin names is... it is a national animal of, and it shares a name with A. Here's Alex Jones reading out Steph's script. Which animal is this?
And finally, a nice story about an animal after one was born on Exmoor for the first time in 400 years. Now, it's classed as a rodent, isn't it? And one of its Latin names is Big Talus Antuthus. It's a national animal of, isn't it Canada? And it shares its name with a furry friend.
Ed, which animal is this?
Yeah.
Come on, you must know the Canada bit.
Oh, no, it can't be that. No, you're right, no.
Is it a raccoon?
No.
Oh, other team, do you want to guess?
Well, we were just
We
contemplating.
think it might be beaver.
Let's let Alex Jones tell us the answer.
It's a story about beavers!
Hey, well done.
That's all right.
It's classed as an aquatic rodent. One of its Latin names is Castor canadensis, national animal of Canada, absolutely, and it shares its name with a division of the Scouts or a style of hat, of course, a beaver. That's the end of that round. Ed and Ben, if you'll swap back places, please. Thank you, everybody, and many thanks to Clive Murray, Danny Dyer, Scott Mills, and Alex Jones. We have one round to go. Let's take a look at our leaderboard, shall we? Whoa! How about that?
Look
Ben
at that.
and Ed, 6 points each. Steph and
That is
Janette,
so close.
7 points each.
That's pretty good. Well done.
Brilliant.
One round to go, and that round, of course, is Answer Smash. Fingers on buzzers. A point for a correct answer, point off for an incorrect answer. Your first category is childcare accessories. Those will be the pictures, there'll be clues above. In a well-known nursery rhyme, what item of kitchen equipment is described as short and stout? Yes, Ed.
It's a tea potty.
Is the right answer, Ed. Very well done. Tea potty. Next clue, next childcare accessory. Which 1975 single was the first UK #1 for the Bay City Rollers? No one brave enough to go for it. Let's take a look. Bye Bye Baby Monitor, Bye Bye Baby and Baby Monitor.
Saddest title for a song I have ever heard.
Next category. Predators. Ooh. Predators, those will be the pictures. There'll be clues above. In which 1989 film starring Timothy Dalton does James Bond lose his 00 status? Ben.
View to a Killer Whale?
Is not, I'm afraid. Anyone else fancy it? Let's take a look. License to Kill a Whale. License to Kill and Kill a Whale. Next question and next picture. Which well-known phrase suggests that the written word is more effective than violence? Yes, Ben.
The pen is mightier than the swordfish.
It's the right answer, Ben. Well done.
It's incredibly tense.
It is tense, isn't it? Next category is film heroines. Those will be the pictures. Which structure built in the 1880s spans New York's East River and connects to Manhattan? Ben.
Manhattan Bridget Jones?
It is not, I'm afraid. Ed.
Brooklyn Bridget Jones.
Brooklyn Bridget Jones?
Oh,
is the correct answer. Well done. Brooklyn Bridge and Bridget Jones. Next question. Whoa, a lot was going on there. Let's find out, shall we, who is our champion this week? By 1 point, Ed Balls. Wow. Ed, you won yourself another prize. Which of these would you like to take back with you? I know you donated the last one to the care home you've been working in. Would they like a skateboard?
Well, on the first day of the care home, the chief nurse had an hour and a half of karaoke in the afternoon. And so I'm going to take them a new karaoke set so that they can use that.
Absolutely fabulous. Ed Balls was the House of Games karaoke set. Well done, Ed. We only have 1 week together next week. So these are the points you're taking through. It's looking good for Ed at the moment. Janette and Ben, you have 4 points each. Steph, you have 5. Ed, you have 8. Should we all join up, same time, same place?
Please, yeah.
Yes,
Look forward to that. Thank you, audience, ever so much indeed. Thank you, the wonderful band. Thank you, David. Thank you, gang. We'll see you next week as well.
Yeah.
Look forward to that ever so much. We will see you next week as well on the House of Games.